Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you have already eaten your lunch. It looks like we still have a few more attendees coming in, so we'll wait for a moment before we start the Tech Talk event. Good afternoon, everyone, once again. I am Sammy Charlie, the Thai UC GDSC event lead for this year, and also the MC for today. It is my pleasure to have all of you here today. First of all, welcome to today's Tech Talk event. I'm sure all of you would have already know the title, but I would like to mention once more, today's event is called Take Your First Step Towards a Tech Career with GDSC. Next. I am sure everyone is excited to be here today, and so are we. We are very happy to have you here with us today. Next. But before we start today's session, I would like to first introduce all of you to today's speakers. There will be 7 stories delivered by 7 different people, mainly our guest speaker, Ms. Janise Tan, who is the Google Regional Lead of Southeast Asia. Moving on, we will also have Oma from GDSC of Monash University. Then we will have 5 different stories delivered by 5 different GDSC leads: Sean Liu, Vanessa Koo, Choi Mei Sin, Ho Ziyi, and also Luffy. Next. Now that all of you are very clear about our speakers, let's take a look at today's agenda. First, we will start off with a brief introduction to GDSC. Then we will hear a short talk from Oma, and then we will have a GDSC lead sharing session. And lastly, we will go on to the highlight of today's event, which is our guest speaker, Ms. Janise Tan, to talk about building your tech career with developers communities. Before ending the event, we will also have a Q&A session with Ms. Janise Tan. Next. So what if you have questions throughout this entire Tech Talk event? No worries, we have prepared a platform for you to ask any questions you have. So you can go on to slido.com and you can key in the code 371826, or you can scan the QR code, or you can also click onto the link that is sent by our technical team in the chat box. So throughout this event, you can ask any questions you have through this platform on slido.com. Next. Without further ado, let's welcome our first speaker for today, Sean Liu, who is the GDSC lead from USM, to give us a brief introduction about what GDSC is about.
So thank you, Sammy, for introducing me. So hi, everyone. Hopefully you guys have taken your lunch already. So once again, I'm Sean Liu. I'm the GDSC lead from University Science Malaysia. So nice to meet you all. So for now, I will just briefly introduce to you guys what is GDSC is all about, since maybe not all of you is aware of it. So next, I will just let you know how many GDSC do we have in this year. So for this year, for the C region, across 7 countries, 86 cities, we have 209 GDSC leads has been chosen to run the GDSC chapter in their university. If we go deeper to Malaysia, this year we have 17 chapters. In other words, we have 17 university has been chosen to run the GDSC. Yeah, it's kind of great, right? That we have so many GDSC chapters or university have involved in this big community. So next, I will show you guys a video what is GDSC is all about. Please enjoy.
Developer student clubs are university-based communities where students learn about Google technology and use their skills to solve local problems. There are over 700 clubs all over the world. From North America to Europe, Africa, and across Asia, we encourage more students to join or start a developer student club at their university.
Some students have overcome personal barriers with the help of their DSC community on their journey to become developers. These clubs help student developers learn through hands-on workshops. They then identify challenges faced by local businesses, NGOs, and sometimes even their own universities, and build real solutions for real problems.
The workshops that we had was Firebase, Actions on Google, and we're about to do ML. It's an amazing experience to learn about the impact that the technologies can provide in our local communities.
DSC is a family, and it's not just about the programming, it's about the learning of teamwork and leadership.
A lot of villages face the problem of water, farming, floods. Maybe we can develop applications to solve this problem. Might be very ambitious for us as students to say that, but nothing is impossible. We can do it.
Developer student clubs around the world have already impacted so many students in their universities and people in their community. The future is bright for the next generation of students.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video and have some brief insight about GDSC. So next, I will go through once again what is GDSC is all about. So GDSC have a motive that It provides the students with an opportunity to grow their knowledge on developer technologies and more through the peer-to-peer workshops and events. So since you have the words of club, so we definitely have gathered one who have shared the same interest in the developer technology, specifically Google technology, such as Flutter, TensorFlow, Firebase, and so on. And we will learn all this technology or this developer framework through the workshop or having the event. Next, by learning all of these technology, we can gain the relevant industry experience by solving the problems for the local organization with a technology-based solution. Because all of us believe that technology can do something extraordinary. And we are going to use technology to solve the problem that exists in our local organization or our community so that we can ease our problem. Last but not the least, we can showcase their prototype or solutions to their local community and industry leaders. So after we build a wonderful solutions to our dear community, we will show them and showcase to all our stakeholders so we can solve the problem and even to make our own impact to our community. So next. Yeah, as I mentioned just now, we will make our own impact. The impact can be big or small, it doesn't matter, every impact is matter. So as you can see from the side, they are the first ever GDSC lead in Malaysia, and they have built a very strong foundation in GDSC Malaysia, and it is our time or our turn to make our own impact. And next, we will learn along the way. We will learn many skills in GDSC, like the leadership, teamwork, and technology, and so on. So there's a lot of things we will learn and gain throughout the whole journey. Next, we also will help the students, or we ourselves, we will build a project to solve the local problem using technology. So as you can see from the picture, it is called Demanding Care, which is a healthcare application which is built by the Singapore student. For information, this Demanding Care is one of the winners for the last year Solution Challenge 2021. Yeah, they indeed make a very great impact to the community. Next, no worries that you have so many things you need to learn or you need to like bear with it. We, GDSC, me and Malaysia, are here to help you to realize your visions. That's why our intention to having a GDSC in Malaysia. Next, although we have mentioned so many things, it may sound burden for you guys, but remember to have fun, right? Like since we are as a club and we as a student, and we will make many amazing friends or fellow in GDSC, and definitely you have fun throughout the whole journey. So I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. I shall pass back to Sammy, our MC.
I'm on live. That was indeed a very insightful introduction, and I hope everyone now knows a little bit about GDSC. Thank you, Sean. Next, let's all hear a short talk about why non-tech students are recommended to join GDSC. For this, we will welcome Omar, who is one of the core team members from Monash University of GDSC.
Thanks to Sam for introducing me. Good afternoon, everyone. Nice to be on stage here. My name is Omar Hatem, and I'm the co-lead in the tech team in the GDSC. I joined GDSC 2 years ago, and this is my third year working with them. I'm also studying Bachelor of Pharmacy in Monash University, Malaysia, and this is currently my fourth year. Thanks to the GDSC, I have developed a solid background in IT, which helped me from an interest perspective and from a career perspective. And so you'd be wondering, how does IT relate to the work I do in pharmacy? Which is a question that could relate to the many of you here from non-technical backgrounds. So I'll start by sharing a bit of my experience in GDSC and how it helped me. Next slide. As I mentioned previously, I've been in the GDSC for 2 years. And throughout this period, I've developed some team building and leadership skills, but I also developed some programming skills that help me improve my productivity in class and allow me to perform tasks in a faster and much seamless way. For example, we have been using Microsoft Excel and another software called R Commander, which is used for statistical analysis. And due to my previous experience in programming, I was able to work my way through both of them easily and obtain the correct answer with less effort than the method we took in the lecture, unlike many of my classmates who were actually struggling with the program itself. Even more, we currently have a project in progress in my degree that's concerned with developing a support app for diabetic patients. Honestly, I would have joined due to my experience in developing apps from the Android Study Jam. However, there was a more interesting project for me. Next slide. You'd be asking, why are non-tech students recommended to join GDSC? So a lot of sectors are starting to embed technology in their work due to its speed, efficiency, and lack of human error as much as possible. For example, as you can see in the picture below, robots are starting to replace pharmacy assistants, and they can independently dispense the medications. So all you have to do is just input your symptoms, and they will straight up give you the treatment you need. And since most applicants are also applying with the same degree as you, what would differentiate you from these applicants is that you will be backed up with a sufficient IT background, making you an important asset in the company you're applying to. Also, in a GDSC, we're going to provide you the IT skills you need to have an edge over your peers. And then you can apply them in your work sector and even in your education sector. Next. Now you know why you should join a GDSC, but what can you benefit from it? Which leads me to the last question: what can non-tech students make use? What can non-tech students do to make use of the GDSC? So there are a wide variety of skills that you can learn in the GDSC, ranging from main social skills to technical knowledge, which can be used either on campus or in the workplace. In addition to that, you can also familiarize yourself with new software and methods to help you increase your productivity in your workplace. You will also be able to develop problem-solving skills to overcome your day-to-day problems with ease. Also, there's a chance for you to expand your network and get introduced to a lot of new people, which can be useful in the long run, as you'll be exposed to these scenarios in your workplace. Next slide. And that's how we as non-tech students can benefit from joining GDSCs. That's all I have to share with everyone here. Feel free to reach out for me if you have any further questions, and thank you for attending and listening. Back to you, Sami.
Thank you, Omar. Looks like joining the GDSC does bring us many benefits. And I didn't know that we don't have to be a tech student in order to join GDSC. Next slide. Alright, now we will proceed with one of the most interesting sessions for today, which is the GDSC sharing session. And this sharing session will be given by our GDSC lead. First, we will start off with our first GDSC sharing session given by our lead from Thai UC, Choi Mei Sin. Let's welcome her. As some technical issues, Mei Sin will be joining us through a video.
I hope that you're doing well. My name is Mei Sin and I'm the lead for DSC at Tunku Abdul Rahman University College. So today I'm gonna tell you more about our club, what we do, and hopefully you join us by the end of this presentation. So some facts about us. So we have a core team of 10 people and we have around 170 club members as of now. And the goal for our club is to create a community of students that can learn and grow together. Now, usually through learning about Google technologies and increasing our knowledge and becoming better developers. So, how do we achieve that goal? We organize a lot of events. So here are some of the past events that we have organized. So first of all, we have a lot of tech workshops. For example, we have Docker and Kubernetes Workshop. So all of these workshops are held during the last academic year. So we have Docker and Kubernetes. We have Basic Night, where we teach very basic skills such as Git, Google Colab, Python, and some Firebase. Then we go a little bit more in depth in Firebase at Firebase in Action. And then we have another study jam called Android Study Jam. Besides technical talks, we also have virtual talks that are not technical. So for example, we have had this career talk called Meet the Experts, Journey in IT Industry. So in this talk, we actually invited several Googlers and they were so kind to us. They gave us lots of advice, and we truly learned a lot from that experience. Besides that, we also have a Fireside Chat. So this is actually a collaborative event as well last year. Moving on, there's also a hackathon earlier this year called Hack, which is also a collaborative event with other DSCs, and hopefully we'll have one next year as well. So now you know our past events. So what do we have in store for the future? First of all, technical workshops as well. We will continue to organize technical workshops so that everyone can learn together and improve our skills. Next up, we will definitely carry on more virtual talks. Third is reoccurring lead code sessions. So we plan to organize lead code jams on our Discord server. So if you're interested in this kind of thing, you can definitely join us at Discord. And who knows, maybe we'll have a new Hack. All right. So with that in mind, I hope that you guys are interested in joining us, and stay tuned for future events at our social media, Facebook, Instagram, Discord, LinkedIn. You can also join our community platform at dsc.community.dev/Tugab Abdul Rahman University College. So all of these links, you can find it in our link tree. So you can just follow the link here, linktree/dsc-tuc, or you can scan this QR code. It was nice talking to you guys, and I hope to see you soon at future events. Thank you.
Thank you, Mei-Sin. Looks like now everyone knows a little bit about GDSC in TUC. If you all are interested about GDSC in TUC, you all can join the GDSC as a member through the QR code or the link provided in the chat box. Moving on, let's welcome the next GDSC lead, Vanessa Khoo from Monash University, to share about their GDSC as well.
Thank you, Sammy, for the introduction. Great to be here. Thank you all for coming and attending. So just a bit of introduction again. I am GDSC Monash University Malaysia's lead this year, and I'll be overseeing the team for 2022. So next slide. Yeah, so a bit about GDSC at Monash. We have a core team of 19 people and 200 and counting club members who are not in the core team. So what we do here at Monash GDSC is that we aim to build a student community which has the capability to make change and have a significant impact in any cause the students choose to be a part of. Next. So a bit of a background on our past events from 2019 up to this year. So in the first picture, you see Cloud Study Jam. This was when everything was offline and not physical. So we had a study jam in 2019, and it was a very fun event. The next event we see here is the Android Study Jam. So GDSC Monash did this earlier in March this year. We held around 2 to 3 sessions of study jams for students to learn Android development. And the next one is Solution Design Day. So this was also held when we had physical events in 2019. GDSC Monash had a Solution Design Day where we allowed students to come together and discuss in groups and with a template on how they would like to tackle the Google Solutions Challenge, which is their flagship event. And last but not least, here we have Explore ML, machine learning. So we did a beginner track workshop back in 2019 as well. And we just learned about machine learning and taught machine learning through workshops. So moving on, we also had a few talks. So earlier this year in March, we had a running weekly session of tech talks. So for example, in the first picture, you see cybersecurity. This was when we had invited people from IBM to come talk about cybersecurity. And the next one you see here is data engineering. So here we invited a lead engineer from Zalora. So he came around to speak to us about data engineering, and it was a very insightful talk. So last but not least, one of the very, I would say, memorable talks we had this year in GDSC Monash is that we invited Quincy Larson himself to tell us and share, how he built Free Code Camp, which I think, if you guys don't know, it's a very popular coding platform and learning community. So that's when we invited him over. It was very fun. So next. So yes, what would GDSC Monash, aim to achieve? Because we've seen the past events that we have done. So what would we like to achieve next year is the question. Let's see. So the first thing that we want to do is to have a platform for solving real-life tech-related problems. So we have in mind a plan to start a student-led community project in sometime in March to next year or July, but sometime next year. And we also aim to kind of do external collaborations with top mentors for these projects. Next. The second main thing is collaboration. So in a time of learning in university, collaboration is some of the key things that can help us to learn. So we want to collaborate with GDSCs from all over the world, and as well with external partners and organizations. So this event is itself a product of a collaboration, so we're thankful for that. And last but not least, GDSC Monash would want to build up students' tech knowledge. This goes without saying because we want to build a community that would slowly grow confident in their tech skills and programming skills. So we will be holding tech workshops on key Google technologies and also outside other technologies. And we will be hosting tech talks and competitions and hackathons as well. So yeah, that is, I hope you guys have a better understanding of GDSC Monash. And here we have a joining link. You can scan the QR code to get to our link tree, or I believe our link will be put in the chat for you guys to see and click. So do join us from any background, from any school. You guys feel free to join any of our events that you wish to join. So that's it from me, and thank you very much for having me. Back to you, Sammy.
Thank you, Vanessa, for the interesting story about Monash GDSC. It is so cool that GDSC and Monash, they actually have a lot of events and have speakers from IBM, from Zalora, and even from Free Code Camp. So feel free to join them as you like. The tactic have already given a link in the chat box below. Next, let's once again welcome Sean Liu, the GDSC lead from from USM, to share about their side of story as well.
So thank you, Sammy, for introducing me again. So hi guys, nice to meet you all again. So now I will go through with you all what is GDSC USM chapter is all about. So next I will introduce you guys about us. So we have considered of 31 of core team members in these years, and in terms of the members, we have up to 500 club members, including our alumni or even some members who are from another university like UTM, Darcy, and so on. And for our objective, we want to impact the students and empower them to impact their community through technology, because we strongly believe technology can make extraordinary things. So next, I will review you guys what are the past events that we have done before. So as you can see on the left-hand side, the coding day is the event like before the pandemic strike. So it's like a one-day hackathon, which is collaboration with our USM society, which is called CS, Computer Science Society, which is a very fun event before the pandemic strikes. And next is about the Flutter and Firebase Workshop, which are a series of workshops that introduce to you the Flutter, build the Flutter UI, and also integrating with the Firebase so that it can be deployed in the Play Store or in the App Store. Next is about the Angular workshop. Sorry, just back to the one slide. Thank you. The next is about the Angular workshop, which is introducing one of the JavaScript framework to all the participants so that they can further enhance their web dev technology. Next is the Explore ML beginner chat, which is kind of similar, same as what Vanessa introduced to you guys. It's just an introduction about the machine learning. Last but not the least is the object-oriented programming and abstract data structure cleaning. This is purposely for our dear junior who have faced some trouble in the DSA or data structure and algorithm in C++. Okay, so next I will brief you to you guys what are the goals that we want to achieve for this year. So next slide, please. Yes, and next slide. So first of all, we want to build a mobile application that can benefit USMer and also the public. So let me go a bit briefly about the problem statement. So have you guys feel overview of when getting the same information or announcement from several platforms such as your own university Facebook page, the WhatsApp group that you form, a Telegram, or even just a Twitter and whatever? And when you ask some important questions on this platform, you get unclear direction, or people might just direct you to another people. And in the end, some of the important questions will just end up in like, for my case, it's USM convention, or maybe in another university you have different naming convention like UM convention, Monarch convention, yeah, whatever it is, your answer will remain unanswered. Yeah, if you feel the same thing, maybe you can just put a react or what, let us know that you feel the same thing. Okay, that's why we feel this is not a good situation or not a good things that to exist in the long term. That's why we, GDSC USM, want to build a mobile application that can centralize all the information for our USMer and even can further benefit to the public who want to know more about USM. That is one of our goal. And next, we also want to enhance the student technology literacy by throughout or having the technical workshops such as Flutter, TensorFlow, Firebase, and so on. You guys can looking for it because we are in prepare of having this interesting workshop. Last but not the least, of course, is the collaborations, which is collaboration with another GDSC from different university, like we are having now with another 4 GDSC, and also different society or even the public organizations. So for information, next Saturday, we will having our Dev Fest in our Georgetown. So if you guys is able to attend this Dev Fest like physically, you might be meeting me. I will be there physically. Yeah, so hopefully can meet all of you guys. Even you can't, it's no problem. You can still attending by attending virtually in the YouTube live. And next, of course, if I have more and more collaboration with other GDSC chapters like what I'm currently having now or even in the future. Yeah, because we think that since the pandemic strikes us, we don't have a chance to meet with the friends from another university, right? So we believe by having the collaboration event is good to broaden our friendship or even make a new friend. Yeah, that is definitely one of the main goals to achieve. Okay, next, I think I go through all the main thing for our GDSC. So feel free to scan the QR code to know more about us or follow our social media to get the latest information for our GDSC USM. Our member will also share the link in the Q&A chat box. Feel free to access it, or you can just scan it through the QR code. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all from me. Thank you very much. And now I shall pass back to our MC.
Thank you, Sean Liu, for this insightful sharing. Looks like USM is trying to build a mobile application for this GDSC, and they will also be having a Dev Fest next week. And for those who live in Georgetown, be sure to stop by. Then, for the next sharing session, we will welcome Ho Ziyi, the lead from University Malaya, to share about their GDSC stories as well.
Thank you, Sammy. I'm Ziyi, the lead of GDSC UM. And so let me briefly share with you what we do. Next slide, please. We have 369 club members currently, a very interesting figure, and we are comprised of 30 core team members, and there are 4 different teams, namely the tech team, tech talk team, creative team, and community team. But the tech team is further divided into machine learning and app dev application development divisions because they are working on different projects and handling different workshops. And as their names imply, the ML division works on ML stuffs, and currently the technologies focused on are TensorFlow and Python. Then for app dev division, they are currently working on Android, Firebase, and TensorFlow Lite, which is a lightweight ML that can be embedded in applications. And then the tech up team focuses on looking for potential speakers for inspiring talks and sharings. And we have our creative team, who is the one working on backstage, designing posters, posting them on time, and ensuring the exposure of all the events that we are having. And then lastly, we have our community team who works on bringing everyone closer, enabling networking to happen between the club members and also the core team members. Next slide, please. So previously, GDSC had quite a few events, including some series of activities. For example, the App Dev Workshop, it has 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and the same goes to Cloud Study Jam, Kotlin Study Jam, Design Sprint, Firebase, and some game night session that is for bonding between the club members. And moving on to the next slide. We also have some talks and one-day workshops that talk about cloud product design, machine learning, and so on. And of course, we have also held a Kita Hack previously with other GDSC in Malaysia, and we will also collab with Google communities other than Google Developer Student Club, such as Google Developer Groups and Google Business Groups, and so on. And then to the next slide. So for our recent events, we have done our info day, and we are currently having 2 series of workshops running. One is the Android development in action, which has 6 sessions in total happening every Friday night. And we have just finished our session 5 yesterday. And then we have Hit Start Machine Learning happening bi-weekly on Saturday night, in which we are going to have our 3rd session tonight. And then we have also done a TED Talk on Git, GitHub, and Gitkraken, inviting an ex-GDSC lead from University Technical Malaysia, Malacca. And then a quick sneak peek about the upcoming events. We are going to have an Android application development competition very soon, so please stay tuned if you are interested in joining. And also, we are having a talk on Monday at 9 p.m. About how computer science students can start their freelancing journey as a student. So if you haven't already, just go to our community platform and register for the talk. And by the way, a shout out to GDG Georgetown, like what Sean has said just now. They're having their Dev Fest on the next Saturday, so in hybrid mode, so you can join either physically or online. And moving on to the next slide. So after talking about all those events that we have had and those that are currently ongoing, you may be having some ideas about what drives GDSC in organizing our events. And the answer is to create impacts by encouraging our community to use technologies to solve real-world problems and basically make the world a better place. And we do this by empowering our community with the skills to develop applications. And this is also why we always have our workshops in series, so that we can break down the contents and make them easier to be picked up. And also we try to inspire them to put their skills learned from our workshops into practice by inviting great speakers over to give talks. And to the next slide, which is also the last one. After this sharing, I hope that you have had a greater understanding about GDSC. And by the way, you don't have to be a student to join us. And so for more info about our future events, you can go to our Instagram by searching gdsc.um, which is our most popular social media platform. And yeah, the words in yellow. And then in our IG bio, you will find a link tree. And at here, you will find all the registration links for our upcoming events. And we will share the link in the Q&A chat box. So thank you for listening, and I'll pass it back to Sammy.
Thank you, Zui, for the interesting sharing about UM, GDSC in UM. Looks like UM does a lot of workshop and tech talk about on their GDSC. Last but not least, let's welcome Luffy, the GDSC lead from UTM, to share their side of stories as well.
All right, hopefully everyone can hear me. So just a quick introduction about myself. I'm Lutfi Arif, I'm from Libya, and I'm currently the GDSC lead of UTM. So first off, just a little bit about us. We are a core team of 25 people, split into 4 teams: tech team, technical talk team, community team, and creative marketing. So obviously, tech team is the team that is mostly focusing on hands-on workshops regarding any sorts of technologies, Google technologies, or any other external technologies that you may or may not know. And creative marketing is the team, well, that does the creative marketing for us. So handles all the social media marketing for any of our events. And the next is the community team. It's the community team is mostly concerned about, well, our local community in our university, or maybe in Johor Bahru, which is where UTM is residing in. Then next is our Tech Talk team, which is similar to, they are the team that do events similar to this event today, which is just a talk coming from industry leaders or other GDSC leads or anything from the above. So next, we will be opening our Discord server for everyone. It's actually open right now. If you go to our Instagram page and for GDSC_UTM, you can see our link tree and you can join our Discord server. I do a couple of live streams for like gaming night sessions and everything. So if you guys are interested, feel free to join our Discord. And here is a small description about our goal. So we want to build a community that has the proper knowledge and skills needed for the job industry, basically. So next is basically talking a little bit about our events. And if you can see all of these posters, they're mostly talks about industry leaders. So you can see building your future resume, or talking about a very booming like industry, which is data science, as well as talking about TensorFlow JS, which is something that I'm currently learning right now. So next is we have previously participated in hackathons. Actually, one of our head of departments of Android in our previous batch, Yasser Ihab, was the first runner-up for DSC Kita Hack 2021. So again, congrats to him. So yeah, we will be hopefully joining another Kita Hack this year with everyone else. So what do our goals look like for like this coming year? So first off, we want to build our students' knowledge up. This includes really like tech workshops, tech talks to drive, like to increase people's like drive or motivation, and also tech competitions or participating in any like medium, small to large projects, depending on how many students participate, including all of these very fun programming languages/technologies. All right. Next is just creating a community of learners. So basically what we aim to achieve here is just to make everyone like learn together through bigger projects, through competitions, through open source projects, and other external collaborations with other other clubs. Sorry about that. Next is, again, collaborations with external tech organizations, as well as collaborations with other DSCs similar to this event today. So thank you so much for hearing everything about my GDSC today. If you want to know a little bit more about us, here's a QR code for our GDSC link tree, as well as the rest of our socials. Thank you.
Thank you, Luffy, for the great sharing session about UTM GDSC with all of us here today. For now, we will start off with a short Q&A session. For those who have already posted questions on Slido just now, we will be answering them. Looks like there is a lot of questions. We will have one of the speakers to answer them.
Hi, I think I can answer this question. So what is the perk of registering as a member? So basically, if you register as a member at our community platform, you will be receiving email notifications about all the events. It will remind you about what kind of events are newly updated, and then maybe before 5 hours, you'll get another email notifying you that the event is going to be up, so remember to attend it. So this is, let's say, the perks of being a member of us, because you'll be getting hands-on notifications about upcoming events, so you won't miss any.
Yeah, I can follow up with the Z answer. Just other than notification, of course, most importantly, you can meet others who share the same interest with you. Like what we have done is using the Discord channel. Like we have one Discord channel for all the people who are interested to join as a member, like to have a chills talk or just gaming night. Yeah, and from that Discord group, we also can have first-hand like news or material that is distributed by us. Yeah, so that's the pros of being the member, I would say. And I can continue to take the top question. Can GDSC prepare you for the real skills and technical expert that is required in industry? The university doesn't really prepare for that. I will say yes. In fact, all the technical terms or technical framework that we have learned is using the currently expertise are using, like Flutter, TensorFlow. That is on demand now. All the technical that's, yeah, I would say we will like not really train, but at least has exposure for all of you to like see what is the real expertise looking for. Yeah. I hope that answers your question, or is there anyone want to follow up?
I guess just to follow up, yeah, like what Sean said, we would be providing all the workshops and preparation for you guys to learn how to deal with the industry with these skills, and the university as well. GDSC will kind of help you to translate university, what you learn in university, to the industry. So you can expect that kind of learning via GDSC. And for the next question, I guess I can take that. What is the difference between core members and members in the club? I can see that clubs have so many members, but there are core members as well. So yes, this is a very good question. So core members are the members in a team who deal with event organization. Actually, in the question below that, it does answer it. Yeah, we deal with event organization, with making sure the community is strong and that members of the club can kind of become a community. So that is what core members deal with. And members in the club, there we have so many, because these members are basically people that participate in our GDSC's events, GDSC sessions. Those are the so-called members of a club. So you can be anyone to be a member. You don't have to be someone of like top experience in Python, Java, or whatever. You can just be a fresh year one student or even not a year one student, you don't even have to be in university. You can join any community in GDSC. So welcome to join us. Yeah. And I guess that answers the question. The next question, can GDSC, so if core members are the ones that deal with event organization, what is the difference between attendees for an event and members of the club? So basically, as what I mentioned earlier, the attendees for an event, sometimes they can be, people who aren't a member of the club. They could be people new to the club, and so they are welcome to join these events. But these attendees can also be people from the club. So club members will have direct access, to get to know these activities that are happening. And that's basically what the difference is between attendees and club members, because club members will attend the event, right? So, and some attendees are not club members. So that's the relationship right now. So yes.
All right. Thank you, Lee, Sean, and Vanessa for answering all the questions on Slido. For now, we are very happy and proud that we have made it this far for the highlight of today's event. Let's all welcome Miss Janise Tan, our guest speaker for today, to talk about building your tech career with developer communities. In case all of you have already forgotten, Miss Janise Tan is actually the Google Regional Lead for Southeast Asia. I will pass my mic over to you, Miss Janise Tan.
Hi everyone. Just a quick question. Am I able to interact with everyone on chat, or are we not able to ask any, will you not be able to see each other's questions?
Yes, at the Q&A session, we can interact with the participants.
Okay, all right. I guess I'll set up another room so that we can interact, because I actually meant for this to be an interactive session. So just give me 1 minute. Hold on, sorry. Okay, let me set up another space for us to do this. Thank you for bearing with me. All right, I shall share my screen. I'm sorry, I seem to have problems sharing my screen.
Do you need any help?
Yes, I have trouble sharing my screen. I'm sorry about this. It doesn't... Sorry, I'm not familiar with Microsoft Teams. Can somebody help me? Or maybe I can share my slides with someone if I'm not able to share my screen.
Yeah, sure. You can send the link in the group chat.
Do I have permissions to share screen?
Yeah, there should be. You are allowed to do so.
Interesting.
Is there any issues? Like there should be an icon for sharing the screen on the top right if you're using the desktop version.
Open the share tray. I opened it and then nothing happens, which is really odd. Sorry.
You can share the link of the slides to us.
I'll do that.
Looks like there's some technical issues with our guest speaker. So everyone please bear with us for a moment. Maybe while waiting, everyone can submit questions. Any doubt about GDSC, you can just ask on our slido.com. If you have forgotten, the code is 371826. 371826. Then you can submit any questions. Then at the end of this session, we will all answer the questions over there. So don't worry if you have a lot of questions and you want to ask and you're shy, you can just submit on slido.com and we will answer them. So looks like this technical issue is taking a while, so I hope everyone can be patient about it. Maybe if we don't want to waste, okay. All right, looks like Miss Janise Tan is all right now. So let's welcome Miss Janise Tan, the regional lead of Google. I'll pass my mic over to you.
Hi everyone, I'm so sorry about this technical issues. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to join the test run, and it was exactly what the organizers worried about. I'm not able to share my slides today for some reason. So thank God the organizers have got it under control. So I guess, Luffy, thank you so much for helping me manage the slides. I will just let you know when it's next slides. There are some parts of the session today that was meant to be interactive because I thought I can see your chat. So I might move through some of these as well and just stick to Q&A at the end. So just bear with me as we go through this. But thanks again for joining us. I'm Janise. I'm the Southeast Asia Regional Lead at Google. So welcome to the 5 universities who are here with us today. And thanks again for having me to share this session about building your tech career with developer communities. So well, I want you to think about what is the one thing that you think you can do now that will benefit your career later. And you know, maybe you write it down on a piece of paper, you know, think about what are some of the actions that you can take that will benefit your career later, because career building doesn't start only when you graduate. You also can be thinking about how you can be building towards it. So think about what is this one thing, and then later we can revisit this again, or you know, have a chat about this during Q&A. So this slide, it says your career is your business and you are the CEO. And really, this is really important to think about because many developers enjoy solving very complex challenges. You know, you're working hard towards, you know, what you're building, or say if you have a job, then your company's objective. And care for your own career might feel, especially in the Asian context, you know, it might feel unattractively boastful, self-promotional. We might feel like, you know, it's very political, but in fact, it is neither of these things. And today I want to talk to you about how you can build and grow your tech career with developer communities and point you towards some tools and resources that will guide you to become the best that you can be. So before that, just let me introduce myself really quickly. So the next slide, you can see, so, you know, my life has not been a linear journey. I explored many different fields and industry, beginning first as an entrepreneur to an entrepreneur helping startups and corporate businesses with innovation and digital transformation. And then now enabling startups and developers like yourself to find success leveraging Google technologies. But at the heart of everything that I've been doing the last 15 years, it's always been about people and creating an environment and an ecosystem where my community thrives has been something that's been the heart of everything that I've been doing. So if you look at building your own tech career, you're also thinking about, you know, why are we saying with developer communities? There are many ways to do it, but why with community? And one is because when you learn in this community, you can develop skills by actually learning from your peers, from one another. You connect with like-minded folks to broaden your network, and this can bring about new and exciting opportunities for you as well. And last but not least, you inspire others when you establish your online presence and showcase your domain expertise by sharing about your projects, whether is it through, you know, writing articles, speaking at events, and contributing to the community that you're a part of. So I'm going to go through each one of this, and the first one is learning. So Google Developer Student Clubs. It bridges the gap between theory and practice for student developers. So you learn a lot in school, and here in the student club, we're asking you to put it into practice. So you'll be building tools together with the student club leads. You know, there will be tech talks, hands-on workshops, study jams, hackathons. Earlier on, I hear them talking about quite a number of events that they plan to bring forth to you coming up. So do enjoy this process, learn with your peers, and actually meet people together as well. You know, many of these events that your team and lead is putting together, you know, will spur your interest. So pick which ones excites you the most, what you would like to hear more of and learn more of. You know, tell your team leads as well, share your feedback, and help shape this community that you are part of. And next, we have connect. So why is it so important to connect? Because networking is so important if you haven't already realized that. So these days, hiring decisions are made far beyond what's written in your CV. Hiring managers, recruiters, they are looking at your online presence, your GitHub activity, your community contributions and engagement to have an understanding of whether you have a right fit for this role. So don't wait until you're job hunting to be looking at these things. Establish your online presence now. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, make sure you have it. If you don't have a GitHub page, make sure you have it now. And this online presence is really important. You know, determine which other channels that are more important for you. So in certain countries, you know, Twitter for developers is a really big thing. Then you want to be on Twitter. For certain countries, and they're very active on LinkedIn groups or, you know, on certain developer community groups. Find out where this is, and it could also be your GDSC community chat. So, you know, establish in the right place and make sure that you engage and post meaningfully in all of these different channels. Because when you engage with the community or help to even answer questions, you will likely learn something new too. And next, you know, when I talk about inspiring, it's also about showcasing your domain expertise and how you inspire others. So explaining concepts to others is a great way to solidify your learnings and also improve your writing and speaking skills. If you share your learnings with others via social media, your blog, or YouTube, it can significantly help you build your brand and authority on the subject. So apart from all these visible benefits, you know, this process of creating tutorial also increase self-awareness and insights about the topics, and this will certainly make you stand out. So write about, build projects, write about them, share this project within your community, you know, ask if you could share it, you know, maybe even speak at events, ask for feedback, because when you ask for feedback, that's how you can make things even better. and also take the opportunity to meet like-minded peers with similar interests. Okay, so on the next slide, I actually wanted to do an exercise together. We can try and see whether this would work. So if you go to this link, and if somebody in the chat could help to just type this out and go into this link. I think I need to share this link with everyone as well. Anyone with the link can open. Yeah. So if you go into this document, I want you to, it looks exactly like this slide. So Luffy, if you go on to the next slide, we're going to go through an exercise where you're going to put in some post-it notes of what you think is, okay, wait, notes, yeah. So I put a couple of sticky notes up, and you can add in any of these things in the different quadrant. Okay, so first of all, while you're going into that particular Jamboard, so let me share a little bit about opportunities for growth. So if you look at this little chart here, you know, there's low effort work, and then there's also high effort work, and there's also low impact and high impact work. So the very first quadrant on the left, you see this is low effort and high impact. So we call this like the low hanging magic fruits, right? So you do very little, but you achieve a lot. So if you're on the Jamboard, I want you to maybe put down a couple of activities that you could do that will be considered low effort and high impact. And of course, you know, I can give you a couple of suggestions, but I'll love for, you know, each one of you to go in there and put up a couple of items here that you think will be considered as a developer very low effort but high impact for your career. For example, you could be building a side project. You could be maybe writing a tutorial on something that you're doing. Could also be contributing to open source projects. I see there are like 25 people in the room, but in the Jamboard, but nobody has contributed yet. We'll love to see, yeah, some notes in there. Feel free to add.
I'm sorry, Miss Janice, can you, maybe the link is only for viewing. Can you edit the link to editor?
Yes, that's a really good point. Sorry about that. Okay, now you have edit access. So okay, let's take 2 minutes, you know, to put in something in the first quadrant. Low hanging magic fruits. What do you think some of these things are? Okay. I can see some of you getting really creative. I think it's your first time on the Jamboard. So yeah, so you can just take one of the post-it notes and write something on it. And maybe if we were to go a little bit further on the next slide, Luffy. So the first quadrant is low-hanging magic fruit, and the high impact, high effort is high-hanging magic fruit. So it takes a lot of effort, but it has a lot of impact. And if I were to give you an example of what this high impact, high effort will be, for example, you're taking on an internship while you're in university. Maybe you're doing remote jobs while you're studying as well. You could be, for example, like Ziyi, Luffy, who are in this call as well. They became a Google Developer Student Club lead. This is a very high impact, but extremely high effort job. It's taking a lot of time from them as well. You know, it could be, for example, starting a tech startup, publishing papers, but what other high impact, high effort job do you think that there could be that can help you with growing your tech career? So you continue adding it in, we'll revisit it a little bit. And the third quadrant on the next slide, Luffy, on the next slide, yeah. So this is low impact, low effort. So these, you know, you can think about what are very low hanging fruits here. It can be, for example, you decide to improve your soft skills, read a book, you know, volunteer in communities, learn about the industry by contributing, for example. So these are a couple of things that, you know, you can do. And let me see. Oh, wow, that's mean. Become a core member lead. It's low impact, high effort. Okay, if Luffy, you go to the next slide. So But the low impact and high efforts quadrant is, do you have nothing else better to do? Because if you have nothing else better to do, then sure, you can spend some time doing here. But, if you just go on to the next slide, this will actually show, this 4 quadrant again. Sorry, look at the next slide. Yeah, so this is the 4 quadrants that we were just talking about. So if we go to the Jamboard, okay, I'll read through some of them. Okay, so what you're considered high impact, low effort. Build a simple website, share on GitHub. Yep, that's great. Making your roadmap, I imagine that's your project roadmap. That's great because then you keep, on target. Attend events. Yes, attending event is, I arguably would say attending events might be low impact, lower effort, because while you learn, the impact is individual. It doesn't actually showcase it to others. But if you learn and you apply, so you attend the event and then you take away and build something, that becomes high impact. So arguably, I would say attending events fall into a low impact category. But most events, right, that is going to happen in a Google Developer Student Club has action items. You'll be learning how to use certain tools. You'll be learning, how to do project management and so on. And when you're learning these skill sets, like how to use Firebase, how to use Android, using Flutter and so on, you attend the event and you learn them. The next step then is for you to actually just build a project and try it out. So for some of you, I think maybe you'll join the TensorFlow machine learning bootcamp that's happening. That is really easy for you to just learn that application and then start to build a little project to apply what you have learned. Then let me see what else. Contributing to open source project. Discuss how programming problem with a friend. Yes, that's right. Create a LinkedIn profile and showcase your skills there. That is very, very good. Mini side projects, brainstorming every day. Brainstorming every day takes a lot of discipline. I love that. But yeah, I think the best way, actually one of my tips coming up, but since it's here, is to just block off a certain number of hours every day or every other day or week and commit to learning something or doing something new or building a side project. So that is very high impact work. Then, okay, high impact, high effort. Winning competitions. Yeah, I mean, you can start from joining hackathons or joining different competitions. And then, if you win, that's great. But, a big part of joining this is also having the experience to actually apply these into real life opportunities and working with a team. So yeah, I mean, winning is great, but definitely not the end goal. I know it's very, very cliche, but oh, come on. I know it's very, very cliche, but you can definitely, make very high impact project when you complete and maybe write about your experience, even if you don't win. All right, congratulations to some very, very innovative ideas that I see here. And let me see, low effort, low impact, sharing practice code, watch tutorial, no hands-on, just read and watch tutorial, joining workshops. Yeah, that's right. And then low impact, high effort, becoming a core member lead. So, well, I know core members, it's a little bit, underrated, but, our core team members, we also do provide a certificate of participation at the end of the year when when the lead actually submit your name. So we definitely hope to provide you some recognition to be able to help you with your next career journey. So there's one more record, some video tutorial. Actually, I think the video tutorial is quite high effort high impact, instead of low impact. So arguably, I would say put this up here. And then learn many programming language, but not an expert at each. Yeah, but I think at your stage, it's great to try different tools and learn different things, because when you're trying and learning different tools, you're also taking the opportunity to really figure out where your interest lies. Not everybody, want to learn R, become a data scientist, or build a mobile application or web apps. There are different people with different journey, and until you actually try to explore everything, would you really know which is the pathway that you might be more interested in? So do take the opportunity to learn a lot, but yes, that is a very great point, which is that, try and focus and become an expert at one. So, okay, this was a bit of a fun exercise, and I see some people trolling me, so I'm going to move on. So the next slide, we're going to recap again some of the things that we talked about today, right? why be a part of Google Developer Student Community? Because you can develop your skills by learning from your peers here and be connected with like-minded folks. Broaden your network, which may bring about new and exciting opportunities. You know, so many of our workshops that we've ran or who maybe even public speaking workshop, who the developer then speak for the first time and start writing about what they're building and share it on LinkedIn. They have shared that they all of a sudden get all these different recruiters reaching out to them, you know, talking to them about roles because they've increased their online presence, they've increased their almost you know, street cred, because basically somebody is looking like, oh, you know, this person is sharing about what they are doing. So they not just can build, they also can articulate their thought, and they can articulate the value of what they are building as well. And that is really, really important. And of course, you know, take this opportunity to showcase your expertise. There'll be hackathons coming up that your community leads will be putting together, you know, so join them, you know, build something, and whether or not you win something, showcase your expertise. Every learning journey means for something and counts for something. So, you know, even if you don't win, you can write about your experience, write about your learnings, because one of the most important thing about a presentation is that people can take away action items to work on. So if your presentation, you know, just ends and you didn't share any of your learnings, then the person who's watching this might not be able to take this project and say, you know, maybe apply it or make it even better. So, you know, showcase that and seek feedback. I've actually seen recently one of our startups that came to our event once to speak about their program, to speak about their startup when they were in stealth mode. They talk about what they were doing because they wanted to get feedback from developers who were the ideal users of his tool. So I remember speaking to this startup founder when he came and talked at the event to ask a lot of questions from developers, and then he actually met up with a couple of people who seems interested in what he's doing, and then, you know, go into like focus groups to discuss. And recently he just announced that, you know, he's got funding from Temasek and pretty much, you know, in a way nearly exited the startup because they have been asking for feedback all along the way. And I'm so excited that, you know, when he first wanted to seek feedback, he came to a Google developer community to share about his project, to get the feedback, to continue building for an even better product. And it took him, it's not short, it took him about nearly 3 years before he finally got his funding and exited the startup. But it is such a success story that he managed to build this with so much user feedback because he's part of a community that supports his growth as well. So yeah, definitely, you know, think about how you can be a part of this community, support each other, learn from each other, showcase your expertise, and ask for feedback. And last but not least, I want to make sure that you're all thinking about this as well on the next slide, is to remember to have fun. So I know this is going to be an uphill journey. There are a lot of things that you are doing in school, and these are like extra curriculum outside of school. But yeah, we definitely want you to be having fun during this. And thank you again for having me. And let's stay connected. My next slide, I actually have the URL actually points to my LinkedIn account. I tend not to add people I don't know. So if you would like to add me, maybe, or you can just follow me, or if you add me, just add a little note that we met via this event. So I'd like to open this time to some Q&A if there's time. Otherwise, you know, we can also wrap this up. But thank you again for having me. All right.
Thank you, Ms. Janise Tan, for the insightful talk about tech career and about GDSC. I really enjoyed the Jamboard session. It was very interactive, and our attendees are also very creative in giving us the answers. So I have learned so much, and I hope everyone here learned something as well from Ms. Janise. But after listening to all this, I'm sure everyone have a lot of questions to ask. So we will start off with a Q&A session with Ms. Janise Tan.
All right. Okay, sorry, am I supposed to pick questions from here, or you're selecting questions for me?
Okay, I think we can select a question and Ms. Janise can answer for us. I'm looking at that. Hi, What are some tips in founding a GDSC? I am a first year student in UKM and looking forward to establish one myself.
Okay, so our Google Developer Student Clubs has a standard application period every year. So every year during the May-June period, we will open application. If your school doesn't have an existing student club, you can apply through the website. If you have an existing student club, we normally ask that you contribute and be a part of the existing student club and have the current lead nominate you as a potential lead to take over the club that he's been building. So so that's basically through whether there is an existing club or not, and you can find this out on our website actually. So I can't put a link in here, but if you were to go to Google Developer student clubs and you just search that in Google, you'll be able to go to the website where it will tell you the application timeline.
Okay, I hope that answered your question. I have found another interesting question. What is the difference between Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador and Google Developer Student Club members? Are they similar?
I can't speak for Microsoft Student Learn Ambassador, but Google Developer Student Club leads are basically the leads that we've appointed to run each one of the student clubs in every college. And then the members are the members of the club that the lead has started. I'm not sure if they're similar. You probably will have to read up on that yourself.
All right, I see. We will take another question. Oh, okay, that's another question from Troy again. Any opportunity for us to do internship at Google?
We actually recently shared internship program links to the leads. So whenever there is an opportunity, we share it with them. But the way that you can look for it is just go to Google Internship and see the listing there and apply through the website. Whenever there's new ones or there's a season for internship, we will share it with the student club leads as well. So you can always reach out to them if they have the resources. I'm sure they would love to share with you too. There is this question I found really interesting. Can GDSC prepare you for real skills and technical expertise that is required in the industry? Because the university doesn't really prepare you for that. Okay, this one is actually probably one of the reasons why Google Developer Student Clubs was established in the first place. It was first started in India and Indonesia because a lot of them said that the curriculum that they were taught in school didn't allow them to actually apply it in a real life job because there's a gap between what's printed in textbook and what's actually being applied in real life. So the student clubs were set up to actually help them gain latest technology skills by learning tools that are available or resources that's provided to them to learn that are updated and what the industry is using. And then on top of that, also giving them an opportunity to showcase the projects that they are building and actual real life impact of the projects that they are building as well. So Google Developer Student Club Solutions Challenge, which happens in the first quarter of every year, that is almost like a hackathon opportunity where you can build for a project or solution that solves for your local community problems. So using latest technologies and working with team in the student club and then being able to pitch it and potentially have a global platform to share about your project is definitely a great way to showcase that you are a developer who is believe in lifelong learning and also know how to build a real life application. In fact, last year our solutions challenge was this is a global challenge and we have thousands of submissions across the world, but the 3 winners actually came from Asia. So one team is from Singapore, one is from Philippines, and one was from India. So we were really excited that actually the 3 winning teams all came out of Asia. So keep your eye peeled for it. I'm pretty sure your Google Developer Student Club lead will be sharing this with you come January or February.
All right, so we'll have one last question for Miss Janise, which is a very interesting one. Is Cgpa actually important to be a Google employee?
Sorry, come again?
Is our Cgpa important to become a Google employee?
I can't speak to this, but if you go back to the question earlier that you were clicking on, something about uni journey or something, maybe I can.
Okay, I think so. We will have another question, the last one.
Because I did not do the whole traditional route of completing university and life after university thing. I dropped out of school at I think 17.
Oh, that is interesting. So we can ask, can you talk about your journey in university or after uni, or how whatever happened before you actually became the Google regional lead? We would be very interested to know.
There isn't a kind of a uni process because I dropped out after O levels and just decided to start my own business. So when you ask about whether GPA is important, for example, I've never been hired for my paper because I only got my first degree and it was a part-time degree when I was in 2017, and this is already 10 years after I started working, and I just did it just to have a paper under my belt. So if you know whether paper is important at Google, I'm not going to, or whether the GPA is important at Google. I guess, if you're very early in your career and you're trying to fight with, thousands of students getting their first job, and there's no other way to access capabilities, that might be very important because there's no other way to see whether you're going to be competent or not. So the school grades will then probably be a good indicator. But if you, let's say, like for me, I didn't do the whole university thing. I only did my degree in 2017 as a part-time marketing degree. And back then I was already in a quite a senior role in my capacity, and I've always done learning on the side. Then it becomes really unimportant whether or not I had a degree or had this paper. Google never asked to see what my results were. In fact, yeah, they never looked at my results for my paper. They hired me for the skill sets because they really see me build programs before. And so for you, let's say you're a developer and you have a great repertoire, or like a portfolio of projects you've built, apps you've built, tools you've built, great articles you've written about what you have been building that has high number of views, interactivity. I know there are many unorthodox way that Google hire as well. There are a lot of this Easter egg on how they hire, such as, if you search for some very deep questions in a certain way in the Google search. I actually encountered this myself before. Because of the work that I do, I tend to search very deep into technical topics. And then one day I just got the screen just kind of like collapse and go like, we'd like to invite you to do a challenge. And then when you complete the challenge, we'll invite you to an interview at Google. And I was already at Google, so I just had a laugh and I sent it to my colleagues like, hey, I didn't realize that we also hire this way, just from a Google search when you search very technical things in a certain way. And they know that this means this person has technical depth, then they actually, release a challenge for you to complete to score an interview. So I've seen this before. I know our recruiters even go to like forums to look at who asks certain type of questions or answer a certain type of question because it shows expertise and it shows insights into a specific topic, and then invite them to interview as well. So it's not just about scores, it's also about projects that you build, which is why we genuinely believe that community is so important, and why we're hoping that you'll be very involved in this community as well to showcase how you can actually contribute and engage.
Wow, thank you, Ms. Janise Tan. It really shows that everything is possible as long as you are passionate about it and you work for it, and experience and technical skills are very important as well. So I think that is the end of the Q&A session from Ms. Janise Tan.
Thank you so much for having me. Just one last thing, if you're a lady, if you were to Google for Google Apex Scholarship, Google Generation Apex Scholarship, there's actually a scholarship for women in tech students who are studying computer science, so you can actually apply for it. And and that again, winning a scholarship with Google might be a door opener for you in future as well. So yeah, you can go check it out. Thanks again, everyone.
All right, thank you, Ms. Janise Tan. It was very insightful. Looks like we have come to the end of the Tech Talk event today. We are sorry that we couldn't answer some of the questions, not all of the questions, but we were happy to answer a few of them. So with that being said, I think we can end it here. But I have heard a lot of questions about whether I can join other universities GDSC. As mentioned by the leads just now, actually, if you are from different university, you can also join the GDSC from other university as a member as well. So you can register under whichever university you like. Okay, so I encourage everyone to really join GDSC as it brings a lot of benefit to us. We have a lot of event, a lot of workshop where you can learn a lot of technical skills as well as soft skills. So with that being said, thank you for coming to today's event. I'm sure everyone is happy and we were very happy to have all of you today. Thank you.